Now, let me ask you this, because the only other artist during that time that you were working with, other than Frank V, there was only one other artist. Correct me if I'm wrong. This was, I want to say, 94, maybe 95. So it was Conejo.
Conejo, yeah.
Okay.
Conejo, oh, yeah.
What year did you meet him?
Man, I'd have to ask Conejo. I really would, because, like I said, Tony, it was like, I don't know where I met him, how I met him, but Conejo was always like, and instantly I liked him. Like, he was on some other raw shit. Like, he was a whole different, like, oh, I'm working with him too. Yeah. And I think that's where we recorded the first song. I think it was Killer from the West. We recorded Killer from the West. I remember, I think Steve caught that guy coming out of the bathroom all smack back, all on heroin and shit. Like, that's how it was back then. And I was like, whatever. I just want to make music. Like, if that's how you work, if that's what brings out that, because I'm sure a lot of our favorite songs, motherfuckers were fucked up. High.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Fucked up, George Clinton.
Yeah, I mean, today.
You ever wonder how the hell you come up with a song called Atomic Dog?
Yeah, Atomic Dog.
I would like to know. I'm sure it's out there, and but how the hell did you come up with a song?
He probably licked the back of a frog
or something. Yeah.
So, but now, out of the first, I think I asked you this in episode 4. The first album, what was your favorite song? Was it Firme Hyna?
No. And I told people, I know, and I can't take credit for that. Remember Juice, the electric one?
Yeah, of course.
It's funny because a lot of stuff we would used to be so sarcastic. Like, me and Frank were so sarcastic with each other.
He was like a Will Smith.
Yeah. So, and we would be like, he would come in like, what's up with Juice, the electric wire? And to him, he thought that was a dope name. We would just like Juice, the electric wire. It was funny to us, but he was the in-house producer. He was staying there. I don't know he was staying there, and he knew how to. That's when I first started to get into the drum machines, and I just had gotten my drum machine.
He lined up 2 SP12s.
Yeah,
remember?
That fucker was bad. He was bad, but he didn't have what I wanted him to have, like that. It was almost like the stiff drums, like the stock drums, and like the popular, like boom, psh, boom, like boom. That's why boom, but I think Frank made that shit pop, because if it would have been some other rapper, it would have been on the corny side. You know what I mean? And remember back then, it was hardcore. It was like gangster rap. So you didn't want to come off like that, but Frank pulled it off. Like, he pulled it off. I'm like, so. But what I was going to say is that was Juice that produced that song. Juice produced that song.
What song was it?
Firme Hyna.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't fuck with that. Ding, 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 ding. But I get it. We need back then it was like, remember, you needed a hit single. Like, you need, like, nobody's thinking that way. Like, you still kind of need a hit single right now if you want to make it, Everybody just raps and yeah, you're good at it and it sounds good, but that shit don't last no more than I don't think people sit there and play your shit.
Now let me ask you this about Art LeBeau pertaining to Firme Hyna.
Let me tell you the truth about that. When we did that song, Firme Hyna, I kind of recall, and I'm paraphrasing, they were like, we could use Firme Hyna, because everybody who did that song, Brentwood.
Right.
So people think it's Brentwood's song. It's not Brentwood's song. It's Art LeBeau's song. What? Art LeBeau? Yeah, Art LeBeau's Jewish. Okay. So them motherfuckers were buying your rights. Like I said, Tony, I'm gonna buy your rights. I'll give you $2,000. And we didn't know. Give $2,000. I wouldn't have sold shit, because I still haven't sold none of my rights to Proper Dose. I think Frank did. For $2,000.
So.
Yeah, for $2,000. He sold the whole 2 albums. I haven't. I'm trying to see if I can get them back, but that's an uphill battle. You know who we're talking about. But
so Art
LeBeau owns that shit, and he said, "I'll let you use it, but I'm keeping everything." And that means when he says everything, is like Juice produced it, and I believe Frank V wrote it. I want Frank V's writers too. And I was like, yeah, go ahead, because I didn't do nothing with it. So I'm like, yeah. And Frank was like, yeah, whatever. We didn't know. We were just happy that we were in a studio. You're talking about 1990.
Yeah.
1991. So we're like, yeah, whatever. We'll fix it later, We'll fix that. If we blow up, we're going to renegotiate, That was my mentality. Like, if we really blow up, shit, they're gonna be like, you're gonna have to, okay, the first one's on you. Yeah, I get it. You're putting us on. I get it. We're kind of gonna give up the booty. Okay, yeah, I get it. But the next one, when we blow up, you'll see we're gonna blow up. I want our money, whatever. And so that was the deal with Art LeBeau, like, from what I understand. So why you guys think that if you listen to Art, is Art LeBeau still on the radio? I believe so.
I believe so, yeah.
Why you think they play Firme Hyna on there?
Yeah.
Because he's paying himself.
It's his song, yeah.
It's his song.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's why it's important, and I hope for the youngsters that are listening, that it's important to know the business side of the music. It's a whole different other beast that sometimes us producers and DJs, we don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't want to listen to it. Even to this day, I kind of like I got permission to go after the season. Like, look, put the music on, and I still haven't. You get overwhelmed. You get caught up with life, man.
Right.
Life comes knocking, and you gotta, just life shit. And any of that is a bad thing. It's just life,
Right. So have you met your Firme Hyna?
Yeah. Can't say no.
Okay, good. He said you can't say no.
Yeah, can't say no.
Okay, now your favorite song off that first album?
Oh, my favorite song? I want to say, it's always like, maybe I Keep Out of Frank V.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other one was First Day of School, maybe?
Okay.
First Day of School. Yeah.
To me, most likely, probably, I Keep Out of Frank V.
Yeah.
And then on the second album, I would probably have to say Something to Bump.
Something to Bump.
Okay, Something to Bump, and along with Ghetto Baseball.
Ghetto Baseball. Ghetto Baseball is... I mean, I know, and I don't expect nobody to really be like, damn. But listen to Ghetto Baseball, bro. That fool killed it. Broke it down like Ghetto Baseball.
Now, at Steve's studio, how many years did you record there? Do you remember?
Shit, man. I was always there. You know what I liked about that fact? That Steve bought the building.
Right.
Put a mixer in there. And it wasn't like, okay, like most other recording artists would have to get a budget and then book. Yeah, sure, you might have had a Skip Sailors or Paramount Recording or whatever, or Hollywood Records, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but say I wanted to go there tomorrow.
Yeah, you
gotta. So now we have Ice Cube, we have the Queen Latifah, or whatever, right?
Right.
And Steve's, hey Steve, I'm coming to the studio. All right, dude, just make sure that you lock up after you leave, or I'll be back at what was it, 11 o'clock from my basketball game, and I'll lock up, Or Juice was there. Juice was living there. So, and I believe it was like a dental place, but the big room was the recording room. And so my ass, bro, me and Frank would just sit there, go buy beers, and we'd be on the phone 24. Remember, we didn't have cell phones back then. We were just calling, hey, girl, what are you doing? Hey, come over. Hey, and half of the shit was bullshit. But I never knew if... I'm sure Steve somehow was tacking that on. Like, oh, you guys were here for 12 hours.
Right.
Or anyways. But we sit there and, like, I found a tape. You remember the Jerky Boys?
Of course.
You remember the Jerky Boys?
Yeah.
When they were doing prank calls?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I recorded one with me and Frank. That's all we were doing. We had the phone book, right? We'd go to the phone book and we'd go to Alhambra and we'd call, hi, is so-and-so here? Dude, and I would record, and Frank was like, hey, and it was around the OJ time, like, hey, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Like, who's this? She's like, it's Richard. This don't sound like Richard. Are you sick? Oh yeah, I'm a little fucked up. What? Oh, I'm a little bit on. Hey, shit is hilarious, dude. Like I almost want to put it on YouTube.
Do you still have some of those?
I have it, dude. I just gotta convert it to. We had some fun times, and that's what I love about that whole scenario. That we were doing what the fuck we wanted to do.
That's right.
And it was fun. It was fun. As bad as we can say, like, man, sometimes Frank got on my nerves, or maybe I got on his nerves,
Right.
But overall, it was fun, and that's something that's not happening no more, dude.
Right.
It's not happening no more.
Like today, when you still produce, What do you use as far as to make a beat? Now, are you still old school? Do you still use the drum machine, or is everything, are you punching, A, B, or C on your laptop?